I think the problem that the British people do have is with extremism, and that includes radical political Islam. And we saw in the general election last year 5 members of parliament elected. This is entirely unprecedented, on a ticket of effectively a single issue ticket of commitment to Gaza. They were effectively, as it were, the MPs for Gaza. This is an extraordinary development in British electoral history. That is, members of parliament whose primary focus was not the good of the nation, the good of Britain, but the good of an entirely foreign entity. And I think this is a problem with so many of these ideologies on the left, that they are, for all of the differences between the people of the crescent and the people of the rainbow and the people of the star, the old school socialists, that all of these ideologies are, for all their differences, fundamentally share the same transnational spirit, transnational posture. That is to say, all of them are dedicated in some way to something that is beyond the nation state, that is beyond the moral community that we should be focusing on, beyond the nation. And it's a tragedy, because you can be a member of a sexual minority and a proud Brit. You can be an old school socialist and be a proud Brit. And you can be a peaceful Muslim and be a proud Brit. I think the problem is when these ideologies are weaponized and given a kind of energy by an out of touch progressive elite in London and in the big university towns, then that is a kind of it's a recipe for the breakdown of social trust and the breakdown of what can stitch us together, which is, really, to go back to what I was saying earlier, that sense of common belonging, of a shared home, of a shared nation.
I think the last time I saw you in person, I had just that very morning in an Uber, had an interesting conversation with a man of Pakistani background. He's very, very charming, very, very decent, very likable, very warm man. And we got on very well. I asked him whether he took his Muslim faith seriously. He said, no. He said, I don't. My wife and I don't go to prayers. But he said, my 4 children, they all go to school and they are absolutely, well, he didn't say the word, but he implied very strongly they were being radicalized. Second generation.
Yes, I mean, I don't know how prevalent that is, but I think there is evidence that suggests that second, third generation immigrants don't necessarily just sort of integrate automatically. That integration and assimilation is something that is an enormous challenge. It's a cultural challenge, it's a policy challenge, and it's not a challenge really that successive governments of Britain have focused on at all. It doesn't seem to be an answer to it. Well, at least not an answer coming from their sort of ideological firmaments.